Chapter 18. Light Between the Fences. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? Isaiah 43, verse 19. The morning after their shared confessions, the farm felt different. Something had changed. Grief still hung in the air, but it no longer ruled it. Instead, a hush had settled, almost reverent, as if the land itself was waiting to see what might bloom after so much breaking. Between them, truths had been laid bare. Pain given a name, regret spoken into the open air. And in return, there was no judgment, only gentleness, a quiet kind of grace. James had risen before dawn, like always, but this time his boots didn't take him straight to the barn. Instead, they lingered on the gravel outside Ruthie's cottage, pacing slow half steps, waiting for movement from the cottage. At exactly 7, James lifted a hand and knocked gently on the old timber doorframe, the sound muffled by morning fog. The door creaked open a moment later. Ruthie stood there, curls tangled from sleep, eyes swollen with the weight of dreams not yet shaken off. She blinked at him slowly, her body still catching up to consciousness.
"Hope you don't mind an early call,"
James said, lifting a battered thermos in one hand, 2 tin mugs hooked through his fingers. She looked at him, lips parted in a question she hadn't decided to ask.
"Will you come on a walk with me?
He added, his voice quieter now.
There's something I want to show you."
She rubbed at one eye, stepping forward into the cool air. Her flannel sleeves hung past her wrists, and her bare toes curled against the cold wood of the porch.
"Depends,"
she said, her voice husky and low.
"What's in the thermos?"
"Strong coffee."
He offered with a small, sheepish grin. That earned a faint smile, just a flicker, but real.
"Then I guess I can come on a walk with you."
Relief passed over his features like the morning breeze. Soft, almost imperceptible, but there. He handed her a mug, warmth seeping through her fingers. They stepped off the porch and crossed the dew-drenched paddock, boots side by side, heading towards what waited for them at the edge of the morning. James didn't say a word. He simply led, quiet and steady, as if inviting her into something sacred. His presence was gentle, almost reverent, like he was guiding her through a threshold where words might break the holiness of the moment. They walked in silence, the crisp morning air brushing past them as they reached one of the last farm gates. Beyond it, the barn stood bathed in soft light, its timber worn and warm with memory. James paused, resting a hand on the gate before turning to Ruthie. His eyes met hers, calm and searching.
Have you ever
He began, voice low and tender.
seen a newborn foal?
Ruthie shook her head.
"Only in movies."
Well,
He murmured, pushing open the gate to the south pasture.
then this might be worth your morning.
Inside the old shelter, Belle stood over her newborn. The foal was still damp, legs too long for its body, trembling with the effort of learning to stand. Ruthie stopped just inside the doorway, breath caught in her throat. There was something holy about it, the vision of new life that was unfolding right in front of her.
"She's beautiful,"
Ruthie breathed, barely louder than a thought. James said gently, a smile ghosting across his lips.
He was born just before dawn.
They stood together in the golden hush of the barn, the scent of straw. The foal nudged at Belle's flank, wobbled, and collapsed into the straw with a soft thud. His limbs were still unsure, his coat damp and trembling. Then, with a quiet insistence, he tried again, rising, faltering, standing. Life, fresh and fragile, determined to begin. Ruthie drew a shaky breath.
"I can't believe it,"
She whispered.
"It's incredible, watching them, having this moment together."
James didn't answer right away. His eyes weren't on the foal anymore. They were on her. The way her lips parted in awe, the way her shoulders had softened, as though even her scars had stilled for a second. Her whole body seemed to lean into the quiet, into the sacredness of it all, as if any sudden movement might startle the moment away. James felt something shift inside him, not loud or dramatic, but deep, like a lock clicking open in the dark. He saw her, not just her outline or her face, but her essence. The woman who had survived things she never should have had to. The one standing next to him in the straw, eyes full of wonder, letting herself feel again. For the first time in a long time, he wasn't just witnessing someone else's healing, he was feeling his own. And maybe that's what made his next gesture feel so tender it hurt. He reached out slowly, no rush, no demand, and brushed a loose strand of hair from her cheek. His fingers trembled slightly. The touch was light, reverent. To Ruthie, it landed like thunder, not in sound, but in meaning. Her breath caught, not out of fear, but recognition, of what it meant to be touched like that. Not owned, not handled, not reduced, but seen, truly seen, and still chosen. She didn't look away, didn't retreat into the silence like she once would have. She held his gaze. Steady, brave. And in that fragile moment, something stirred. Not a roar, not a rush, but a flicker. The smallest ember of trust, glowing in the ashes. She let it burn. James let his hand fall back to his side, fingers curling slightly, as though trying to hold on to something intangible. His throat was tight, thick with words he didn't know how to say, words he wasn't sure he had the right to speak aloud. The moment between them had cracked something open, and he wasn't certain what would spill out if he lingered too long. A part of him wanted to stay there, rooted in the hush, memorizing the way her eyes softened and held his. But another part, the one that had learned restraint, that had stitched control over emotion like armor, whispered that it was too much, too fast, that if he didn't step away, he might say or do something he couldn't take back. He drew in a slow, grounding breath and looked away, blinking hard.
All right,
He murmured, voice low and uneven.
let's get you back inside before you catch a chill.
It wasn't the cold he feared. It was the warmth, and what it might mean if he let himself reach for it. But Ruthie didn't move. Her gaze lingered on his face, her voice trembling just enough to betray the tenderness behind it.
James?
He turned to her, thermos cradled like something breakable in his hands.
Yeah?
Thank you
His brow creased.
For what?
for just being you.
Her words came soft but sure, as though she was still learning how to speak from a place that hadn't always felt safe. James swallowed hard, the motion pressing behind his ribs like a wave held back.
But, Ruthie,
He said, voice rough with something honest.
I should be the one thanking you.
He looked at her then, not with guarded affection but with everything in him stripped bare.
For seeing me,
He said.
not the version I try to show everyone else. You see what's underneath.
Ruthie's eyes shone, not with tears, but something deeper. In the stillness that followed, words became unnecessary. The moment said everything. James exhaled, a breath so full it felt like release.
I've carried so much for so long.
He admitted.
I forgot what it was like to have someone out here with me.
Ruthie took a single step closer, close enough for the cold to slip between them, close enough for warmth to rise. A pause bloomed between them, quiet, weighty, beautiful. Not empty, but full. Full of what could be. Full of healing, still in motion. And as the sun crept higher, frost melting to dew, and the newborn foal took another shaky step, something unseen, yet undeniable, took root between them.
Thank you for listening to this chapter of Healing on the Land. If this story has touched your heart, I'd love for you to come join me for the next chapter. You can find it here on this channel. If you'd like to support more Christian storytelling, you can purchase the full book or make a donation using the link in the description. Your support, no matter the size, helps us to continue writing stories of faith, healing, and hope. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel. May God bless you, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.